This video is working with and formatting text. There are extensive features for working with text in Adobe Illustrator CS6. I'm going to show you a few of them now to help you get through this chapter. I'm going to click on the Type tool, and then I'm going to bring out the Layers panel just to show you that all of these layers are locked except the one layer named Artwork. This will just enable you to create type easily without accidentally nudging elements in the background. So I'm just going to click on the Artwork layer in the Layers panel just to activate that, and then I'm going to click once. Now clicking once on the artboard actually creates a text box, and I can click and type away, and it will keep typing in a straight line forever and ever. One of the other options I have is creating a type area. So with the Type tool selected, I click and drag. This gives me a type area. So now when I type, it actually wraps to that type area. So I'm going to create a type area by clicking on the Type tool, clicking and dragging at the top here. I'm going to change my character color to white, which is the fill color, and then I'm going to type the words "Nuts provides energy to get you through the day." Then I'm going to select all of that text just by clicking and dragging. Then I can change the font family if I want. I can change the font style, as well as the font size, all from in the control panel here. I can also do it from the Type drop-down menu. So you can see I can change the options just the same here. I could also do it from the window menu, come down to Type, and go to the character panel, and again, change the options here. One of the cool features in CS6 on both the Mac and the PC is that I can click inside this font family drop-down area and use the up and down arrows on my keyboard to toggle through and get a live preview of what that text will look like. I can also just start typing as well. So I can select the text and type Minion Pro, and you can see it would change to that font family. So I'm going to change my font to Myriad, and I'm just typing MY, and you can see it changes the font. I'm going to change the font size. This time though, I'm going to hold down the Shift and Control or Shift and Command key and use the lesser than key just to reduce that font size. Using the greater than key with Control and Shift or Command and Shift will increase the font size. So I can do that visually quite quickly. So a few options and where to go to change those characters. A few ways to select text is to simply click once, which places the cursor. Double click will select the word, and triple clicking will select the paragraph. Now a new paragraph happens anytime you hit the Enter or Return key on your keyboard. A quick way in how to draw a new text box is to hold down the Command or Control key, click once, which will deselect, and keep that Type tool back with you, so you can now click and drag to create a new text area. Let's look at placing text. So we go to File and Place, and I'm going to choose Ingredients and just accept those default import options. Now I can select that text, and I can choose the type, and then change case option, make it uppercase. Again, I can change the font color, as well as any font styles that I want to change. Let's look at a few more advanced options in Type in Adobe Illustrator CS6. So I'm going to use the Type tool again. I'm going to click and drag a text area. I'm not really concerned about the size because what I'm going to do is bring out the Transform panel. And I want these values in pixels. The easiest way for me to do that is right click on the ruler and change it to pixels. And I can type some values in here. So on the X axis I'm going to put 1148, the Y would be 425, the width of this type area will be 450, and the height will be 550 pixels. So there I can create a type area using the Transform panel. With that done, I can close that Transform panel, And now I'm going to go to the type menu and choose area type options. So from in here I can add multiple columns. So I'm going to make this 2 columns and just accept the default span and gutter area and click OK. Place my cursor. Make sure my cursor is active inside of this text area. Go to File and Place. This time choose Nuts and click OK. And you can see that that text flows around those 2 columns. I'm going to use the Control or Command A to select all of the text and then change the character color. So now let's take a look at paragraph options. Zoom in a little so we can see what we're working on. I'm going to use the paragraph panel. You can have the same options from the control panel, but we can change the alignment here: align left, align center, align right, or justify with the last line, align left, align center, align right, or justify all lines. If I select all of the text, you can see a little easier how those options work. So I'm going to choose justify with the last line aligned to the left. And I'm going to put a space after each paragraph. So again, a paragraph occurs whenever we hit the Enter or Return key on our keyboard. A quick tip might be to just use the space after on the body text. Don't put a space before and a space after. You can just use space after to maintain that spacing in between your paragraphs. Now you may want a space after and a space before on headlines. Let's take a look at the headlines. I'm going to use the Type tool and just select this first paragraph. Now I clicked and dragged. I can also triple click to select it. And I'm going to increase the font size. And maybe I change the font style from regular to bold condensed. So again, I'm going to hold down the Control or Command and Shift and use the greater than key just to increase that font size. And when I'm happy with that sizing, maybe I go back to the paragraph style and this time put a space before in here as well. Now this will become useful when we apply it to another option. So I'm going to increase this more than the space after. I'll change this to about 14 points. So now I can select this nuts, nuts, nuts text and I can go to my eyedropper tool. And if I actually double click on the eyedropper tool, I can see that it's going to capture the character and paragraph styles. So I click OK, and now I can click on the original heading area. You can see that it's applied it to my new heading. If I switch back to the Type tool for a moment, you can see the space before has been applied, and that just gives me some visual separation, some negative space above this new headline. So it's obvious that the headline is applied to the text below it. Just one of those basic principles of design of proximity. So there's many different options in the character and paragraph styles, as well as all other font options in Adobe Illustrator CS6. Hopefully this gave you a quick insight into how powerful this area can be. This video is working with and formatting text. There are